See all the lights in the distance over there? That's the herd of little balers going on the neighbors. It's time to go. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. I got my sunglasses on already, so we don't have a repeat of last week. We've had a pretty good run. Shed's getting quite a few bales in it. Had enough coming in yesterday. We just parked the balers outside to keep them out of the way. During this run, and I think it's been right at a week, we've basically baled every day. We've either went at 5 a.m. or at 10 p.m., which has been kind of handy. You still just eventually get worn down. What was it the other day? Cameron and I went 2 nights in a row till basically midnight. But we've got today's baling and tonight / tomorrow. God, this tractor rides are up. And then we're kind of all but done with first cutting. I don't know why I'm still holding the camera forward like it's dark out. Yeah, we've got 80 acres where we're going now. We can potentially do another 30 today, but then we'll have another 30 to go tonight and another 30 for the night after that. And after that, all we have left is 2 more 30s. And they both got irrigated, so it's going to be a little while before we can cut either of them. It's kind of amazing if you take some non-premium hay and just bale it with good moisture. We've been running low teens down to about 10. Them bales look dang good. Like, really, really good. You might be saying, well, if it's not great hay, why are you up at 5 a.m. baling? Just bale it when you get up and go to work at 8. That's actually a really good question. Depending on which study you want to believe, because I've seen multiple different ones, baling hay super dry to where you lose a lot of the leaves and stuff, you lose 10 to 20% of your crop because it gets ground up and powderized. When hay is bone dry, you can just crush it into powder. So if you bale it that way, a lot of powder just falls right through the baler and never makes it into the bale. So, night before last, there's a small thunderstorm coming in. I wasn't so much worried about the rain that it had, it was the wind. The alert on the radar said 40 mile an hour wind gusts. Well, 40 mile an hour wind gusts are gonna wreck a field. So Cameron and I take off, 10 o'clock at night, let's go bale. We got about half done when the wind hit, but because we were baling early, that hay was super dry. The 45 acres made right at 100 bales. If we would have been able to wait for the humidity to come on and baled it correctly, I'll bet we could have added 20 bales. At least 15. Because you could just watch all the material blowing off them balers in that wind. There. There's today's 6 a.m. lesson. We're a little over half done with this field. Got that first field done, got moved over. We're trying to do this one, which is jumping today. Don't know if it's going to work. I know that one that they just finished raking on definitely won't go because it is tough. Oh, some of these tracks really suck. A little muddy right there. Blanca had to leave the chunk. Alright, these bales, they're not great. This field really could have laid until tonight to bale. But the future radar email I got sent this morning, there's quite a bit of thunderstorms supposed to happen north of us. We're kind of the south edge of it. But the big concern is with a big thunderstorm like that, you get massive wind coming off of them. So I really didn't want to have 60 acres laying here ready to go to get blown all over the place. So it's done. Now we got 30 acres that's sitting laying ready. We'll see what the weather looks like. Balers are put away. Go find some breakfast. Pinchy's hauling cattle. You can see him coming up the road there with the truck. We're running out of room at one feedlot, so we're moving the cattle that are about ready to ship. We're just moving them to a different set of pens, create more room for new cattle coming in. Blanca beat me back from breakfast, so she took off with the loader, which means now I gotta sit around and wait on the tuna to feed cattle so I can take off with the loader. But I can't be too mad at her. She brought donuts. Okay, I've waited long enough. I'm gonna go get it. I mean, I'm only going to that field right there, so guess if he decides he has another load he needs to feed, I'll be right there. I'll just let Blanca and, who was it, Grant and Glenn, handle the other field. Go figure. I get over here, move the first 2 bales, and look over there, the white feed truck. I swear, it takes longer to feed cattle in the summer than it does the winter when we're at capacity. Finally got done loading bales. Loading feed truck. Now I'm back to moving bales. Blanca and them are still over yonders. I'm just going to let them finish that up while I sort this. So this is what I'm looking for. See the black striping there? That is not good. That is moisture. That is that hay in there is still very wet. You do not want that in a barn. That's what you have to worry about with fires. So now this field, there's I think 35 bales here. You can see I've been sorting through. Everything I've doubled is stuff I've already kicked out, and I'm still double checking. I'm kicking out half of this field, which sucks. I think I said earlier when I was baling, the only reason we're baling this field right when we did was because of the weather forecast. It wasn't ready, it was close. I would have given it a try because of that. Normally, I wouldn't have even tried it all. I would have just let it lay raked like we're doing with that one. Let the bottom of those windrows get some air to them. They'll dry out quickly over the day. Bale's beautiful at night. And then every one of these bales probably would have went in the barn. So, we cost ourselves quite a bit of money by baling it now, as opposed to waiting. But with that forecast, we could have also made ourselves some money by getting it off of the field now and not having it sit there and get rained on and then be stuck waiting a few more days for it to dry out with more rain in the forecast and more irrigation water on the way. So sometimes you just kind of have to take the loss to avoid a potential bigger loss. I mean, this is still quality alfalfa. It'll get ground and fed to our cattle or one of the local feedlots. It's going to make great hay that turns into great steaks and burgers. And in the end, that's all that really matters. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just going to keep the camera on so I can see over the bale like that. So I got it all sorted. Like I put 23 outdoor, leaves 13. Yeah, 13. That'll come to the shed. But since I'm still waiting on trucks and everything, I'm like, you know what? The shed's just over here half a mile. I'll just carry a couple while I wait. It's amazing how fast the day goes when you're busy. Truck showed up, helped me get the last of the bales moved, pulled into the shop, and I'm like, man, where is everybody? And then I pulled out my phone. It's already after 12. Alright, let's go home, see what the lunch plan is, and then figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Alright, I don't know where half of the crew is. But the half I do know, Cameron's running some tillage. Grant's cleaning a feed truck. Tell the tuna if he'd roll up his windows, it wouldn't be so dirty inside there. Blanca's working on trucks. And me, I am lucky enough, I get to work on more of these friggin' maps again. Remember all these from last week? So no, the FSA did not screw it up. This is on me for this part. We got everything straightened out the other day. And the tuna goes, hey, did you do this part too? And I go, I didn't even know I had to do that with them. He goes, well, let me call the insurance. Maybe we don't. Then he called right back. Oh, yeah, we got to go do all them maps again. So I'm going to go make some chicken scratch, straightening some stuff out on these, and then take them back in there so that way they can re-enter the numbers. Then we can sign them all again. It's just a fun-filled circle. Paperwork can just kill an afternoon. It's after 3. Pushed enough numbers around, though. I got the 270 acres that I needed to get switched over. Blanca just headed out to go get cattle at the sale barn. See Dust. Cameron's working a field. Glenn and Bart are working on broke down pivot. The one we were on this morning. So that tower, or that machine, has 11 towers. Standard ones are kind of 6 or 7. That thing has been a nightmare since we put it up, and I wish instead of putting up one big one, we would put up a couple of smaller ones. Just such pain in the butt. Anywho, sitting here watching a thunderhead blow up southwest of us. I haven't seen much else happening yet, so gotta keep the eye on the clouds for if we gotta go screw up another hayfield and bale it bone dry because it's gonna blow away. Right now I just need to go turn these papers in. Paperwork is done. Now, staring at 4 guys staring at a pivot. Suppose let's go see what's wrong. So we had 3 towers that are stuck, and when they went to move it, they noticed that one wasn't even trying to move. Upon further inspection, broken U-joint. It's freaking hot out there. But they're bolting it back together, so they're about ready to fire it up. It looks like it should be okay to start. They got kind of all 3 of them towers dug out a little bit while they were tinkering around, so let's go see how Cameron's getting along. Cameron's over here doing the old tilly little VT work. And I also feel it is my duty as the host here to make fun of the people that screw up. Training the new guy to be a super trucker. You think you can make that turn with a semi and a 53-foot drop deck? No? Yeah, you'd be correct. Luckily, it doesn't seem like there is any damage. Part of learning how to do something you've never done before, you're going to screw up. It's whether you learn from it or not. If you don't learn from it, then you're a lost cause at that job. If you learn from it, then you're going to be okay. First thing he said to me after, he goes, yeah, he goes, it looks like I should have swung over across the road, made a turn or a loop, and hit it straight. I go, that's exactly what you should have done. At least you figured it out already. Like I said, he was empty. Doesn't seem to have done any damage. Knocked over an old post. These storms are getting closer. Especially that guy. Here's the calves Hector moved today. 2 loads. Sorted. We'll be here for a little while. The storm's still getting closer. I hope the weather report's wrong about 60-mile-an-hour wind and ping pong ball size hail. I don't feel like dealing with that. But guys, I'm just going to kind of piddle around, drive, check on a few things while I wait and see what that does. Yeah, I don't know. Where was I going with that? I don't know. Here we go. Hi, Bart. Missed out on any rain, caught a little bit of wind, but here it is, 9:30. Going to bail. So Bart and I started this day bright and early before the sun came up, and now we're capping it off well after sunset. Alright, moisture is not horrible, but not great. Bart stopped for whatever reason. Wife just dropped me off some McDonald's. It's gonna be a good night. So yeah, it's 10 o'clock. They've been at softball. Not my daughter's softball, that's this weekend. But this was the rec league championship she wanted to go watch because she knew a lot of the girls playing, so they get McDonald's in the tractor for supper. I can think of worse ways to spend the evening. Now, the moisture isn't perfect, far from it, but there is a thunderstorm off in the direction I'm looking there to the northwest that we will either catch wind or rain off of, one or the other. So, kind of like this morning when it's kind of cut your losses, let's bale this a little bit dry, take a little bit of a loss on it, tonnage wise, in order to have it put up and done with. Oh man, guys, We are done. It's a little after 10:30. I'm a little tuckered out and ready for bed. See you guys in the next one.